I think about Andrew Fonfara's last fight, which is a very difficult fight to come back on.
Chad Dawson?
After being
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know, I'll
He's
be honest.
a smart boxer.
I'll be honest, I didn't want that fight.
Mm.
And his brother is his manager, and so you have to respect that. But I did tell him, you know, this is a dangerous fight to come back to after being knocked out. You know, you have to keep in mind that Chad is three-time world champion. And if he's motivated, you're going to have a tough night.
He looked motivated.
He was very motivated. He fought a hell of a fight. You know, and just thank goodness Andrew's physical strength. And his size, you know. He kept pressing, you know, because he was telling me that, you know, the punches wasn't bothering, but Chad's athletic ability is what was giving him the problems. And I told him as early, right after the 6th round, we need a knockout to win the fight. We're not gonna win a decision. We're too far behind. You can't match him for a decision. We have to break through some kind of way, you know. So thank goodness for his condition, you know, which kept him in the fight. And, you know, my heart goes out to Chad, man. I mean, man, he fought a hell of a... He looked good. Chad Dawson looked good.
Which is ironic, because I think he retired right after that fight. I think he said, "I'm done."
Did he?
I think so. I think I read something.
He shouldn't. I mean, it's not like the fight was stopped with him on his back out. So he shouldn't. He only needs one win to get right back. And he just, and I know he knows that knee. He's got a hell of a trainer. And he shouldn't let that be a setback.
It's probably just a...
I don't think he should quit at all.
Might have just been like a rash, you know.
Yeah.
A rash, just a quick, oh, I'm done with this.
I mean, man, look. He was doing some things that night that let me know he trained, and he was very serious about winning. I definitely wouldn't quit if I was him. Like I said, he didn't go out on his back. It was just accumulation of shots. You know, you got caught with a shot and the referee stopped it. But it wasn't like he was comatose out. You know.
So, were you pleased with what you saw? I mean, I know you've been working with, you know, Fonfara, not a long time now, but you guys
first fight. That was our first fight.
That was your first fight.
Yeah.
You guys have been putting in some work. So, were you pleased with what you saw thus far?
I was. You know, I never pretended like he was going to outbox Chad.
Right.
You know, and I don't think he did either. You know, the goal was to stay close and force the fight because he is a very strong kid, and he's in great condition. You know, he could keep it up, and you know, coming off a knockout like he did, which was pretty much what you call a shock knockout. I mean, you know, you got knocked out when it wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
And that's not taking anything away from Joe Smith. It's,
was that in the first? That was in the first round, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obvious that Joe Smith can punch. You can see that. So it was just a mistake. You know, something that Andrew probably knows better than anybody. He probably can go back and troubleshoot and find out why his attention span wasn't where it was supposed to be, you know. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had Smith kind of hurt, and he tried to step in and finish him, and he left himself open. You know, he wasn't as calculated as, you know. He should have been against such a dangerous puncher. But Smith is going to be in any fight he's in, you know, because he will throw. You know.
Hopkins knows that.
Yeah, B-Hop knows that, you know. Kudos to B-Hop. he took on a dangerous opponent, you know, at his age, and hadn't fought in a year and something himself. That had to take a toll just to get back in shape. But he did it, and it's no shame in, you know.
Yeah. So what's next for Fonfara? Like, is he are you ready to see him jump into like a title fight? I mean, I know Adonis Stevenson's floating out there. I mean, would you rather have another, you know, like not a tune-up fight, but just another test, just because it's only your second fight working together?
Well, you know, anytime you get a title fight, you take it.
Of course.
You know, he's 28 years old. So
he's only 28.
He's only 28. So 29. Yeah. So
still, for some reason,
if he came up short, he still got another shot.
Yeah.
You know, because at his age and where he is, if he came up short, all you got to do is beat another big name.
True.
And you right back. So, you know, some guys have had 2 or 3 tries before they got the belt. But if the Stevenson fight came, by him having fought Stevenson before, yeah, it would be a wise decision to take the fight. Because they fought before, he actually knocked Stevenson down.
Yeah.
He was in that fight, so he learned some things, you know, about it. And well, Stevenson probably would say, well, you know, he ain't going to fight the same guy, but vice versa.
Is that a fight you like when you look at it?
If they offered him to fight, I'd like to fight for him. Yeah. I like to fight for him.
It'd be a nice little preview of what Stevenson has to offer.
Yeah, Stevenson looked pretty good in his last fight. I was impressed, you know, with his selection of punches. I hadn't seen him, you know, mid-range punch before. But he did in that fight. You know, he pretty much had to, because he had a guy who was on him, you know. And, you know, Williams probably shouldn't have took the fight that early in his career. But you can't turn down a title opportunity.
Right.
You just can't turn it down.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't know when it's going to come back around again.
Might not come back around if you turn it down.
Might not.
Might make it a point. It might make it a point not to bring it back to you if you turn it down. So.